Jonah Spencer, Canadian Press, go ahead.
Andre, you obviously have a ton of talent up front, and all your forwards are first-round NHL draft picks, but having to shuffle your forward lines pretty well every game, or not having the same line combinations from game to game, I guess, how much has that impacted, I guess, what you can do up front?
If I'm not mistaken, the last 2 games been the same lines. But shuffling the line around is part of it. Last year during the World Junior, the line were move around all the time, and we play. Dale did a really good job to have a feel of who was going and who wasn't. So it depends about every year. It depends about style of play, and depends about the depth of your lineup. But with the depth we have right now, if you look at the line of Suzuki, they're doing a really good job since they're together. And I like the Cousins line, and same thing with Byfield's line. The last 2 games, they were really good. I think Newey's line were doing really well. That's why we put Z in the spot of Newey yesterday, and they were good. And Krebsy scored a goal, so that line had a plus. So we're comfy with our 4 lines the way it is right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sam Cosentino from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sam.
Hi, Bear. It's about as dominating a performance as I've seen in a long time. But you're a coach, so you must have found something wrong. What if you had to nitpick in one thing? What would it be?
You're right. A coach, you can never trust a coach, Sam. You know that. That's we always find something. We got a little bit not complacent, but we took a more risk when the game went on, and our reload was not as good, and we could have with the Finns, if they will have executed a little bit better, we could have give a few on men rush. So we addressed that with the player, but the big thing was our box out in our zone. We were not hard on our box out, so in the third period they had a few deflection, a few rebound situation where they could not get the right bounce, but could have been dangerous. So those are stuff we can clean. But like you said, we're really happy about our performance of yesterday. We just have to make sure we're not stagnant, and we're looking to get better again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
John Abbott, TSN Radio. Go ahead, John.
Hi, Bear. Just further to Sam's question, just wondering how much you fight yourself with a power play to either make an adjustment or to leave it and see if it, really takes charge in a game. It's kind of one game on, one game off, it seems.
Yeah, I think at this point we work a lot with our power play, and we did a lot of good things. If you look, yesterday McMichael missed a backdoor tapping goal because he had a prime scoring chance from the slot. We had a few good looks other than that. So I think we could not get the result, but we still did a good thing. So we will stick with what we did, and we'll move forward with it.
Thank you. And I know you've addressed this a little bit already with Ryan last night, but how do you prepare for the Czechs?
Well, the people don't give enough credit to the Czech. Czech we're in the pool with the U.S., the Swede, and the Russian, and they have only 2 players in their full roster who are not in the plus. Everybody else is in even or plus. That's playing against elite opponent night after night. So that showed how good they were at 5-on-5. And if you look, they got only 7 power play in 4 games. So it's important to not give them the chance to get on their power play. And then the second is to make sure we know how good they are at 5-on-5. They're a really good 5-on-5 team. And that, again, elite country. So we need to make sure we are humble, and we go in that game knowing full well it will be a tough match.
Thanks, Andre.
Thank you.
Rob Tychkowski, Edmonton Sun.
Hi, Andre. We've watched Canada kind of light up a bunch of teams here. They're rolling through the preliminary round and up against Finland, which is another hockey power. They steamrolled them in the first 40 minutes. Is this team really that good? Are they a little better than even you thought they were going to be when you put this thing together?
We won 4-1 with an empty netter. You know, that we played well, but we need to remain humble. The Czech beat the Russian. Does that mean they're better than Russia? You know, it's one game. So it's the same thing for us. Okay, we had a really good game, but two days before again, or whatever, 4 days before against Slovak, people were asking because we were up only 2-1 in the third period. So it's not one game who dictate who you are as a team. I think we need to remain humble, and we have a lot of work to do. And in reality, the work start, because now it's do or die. You know, you play against Finland, you want to win, but it's not do or die. Now we need to get down to business and make sure we focus on the task, and we're urgent with the task and patient with the outcome, and not focusing on stuff we cannot control.
Yeah, speaking of the Slovakia game, I mean, you know, the Czechs theoretically will play a similar style that Slovakia showed was reasonably effective against you guys. And it's also, as you said, the dynamic changes to do or die. Is that something that has to be addressed and is a bit of a concern?
Yeah, it's a good question. Will be addressed in a certain way, not maybe in that way, but for sure we'll talk about how good the Czech are at 5-on-5, how much they perform in that tournament at 5-on-5 against elite country. We'll address that for sure. We'll address the fact the way they play, and yes, they have a lot of similar thing than the Slovak. I think we're a better team now than we were against Slovakia, but the same thing for them. I think they got better during the tournament, and that's I repeat that since the beginning. That's the goal in that tournament. Every country will want to be better every day. But for us, that's make sure tomorrow we play with that urgency, and we stay patient with the outcome. Not focusing on the score, but the way we have to play.
Thank you.
Dana McKeel, go ahead.
Thank you. Coach, what stands out in the coaching, in the scouting report on the Czech Republic, and what are you looking to exploit?
They close the neutral zone really well. They will be really patient neutral zone, collapsing the neutral zone, and same thing in their zone. They're 5 guys tight in the block, a ton of shot. So we will need to be really quick on transition to make sure they don't have time to set their neutral zone forecheck, and same thing in D zone. We need to get inside and win it from battles. If we think we'll bring the puck behind the goalie with the puck on our stick, that won't happen. They will collapse that area. So we need to dig in and score dirty goal. A little bit like Krebsy did yesterday, like Peltz did yesterday. Those are the kind of goal we need to score.
Thank you.
Andre, with so few game opportunities coming in and all that time spent in quarantine, there was questions about the chemistry and how quickly it could come together. The guys were saying that they're happy with how everything has gelled. Why do you think this group has been able to come together well?
I think Canada do a really good job with the U17, U18 program, and to prep the guys for years. So when they arrive in that program, they know the mindset. They know each other because they played together at other events. So I think it's a job who is a teamwork from our mental skill coach, Ryan Hamilton, all our staff, our leadership, Scott Salmon and down, who put a premium on that. And we do a lot of team activity and a lot of team builder to make sure that chemistry is facilitated. But it's the recipe or the credit come back to the player. I think the player have an open mind and they know how important it is.
Is your sense the adversity kind of sharpened the focus in a way?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's two things will always help is overcoming adversity and winning. That helped a lot the history. So hopefully we'll keep going.
Thank you, Andre. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year, Mark.